I'm a chiropractor. I practice in Sunnyvale, and the philosophy that we use in the chiropractic profession is very much one that is in line with what's in the naturopathic profession. I ask the question a lot, if you knew you needed or you thought you needed some drugs or surgery, would you know where to find those things?
Drugs, I don't know.
Legal. Prescription medication. Would we know where to find those things? Yes.
Yeah.
You can throw a rock to any provider that is around and you can find those. So I try to encourage people or inform them that there are actually practitioners out there who have been trained to provide solutions to your problems that do not involve drugs and do not involve surgery. How cool is that? I think that's pretty cool. Now, I want to tell you, this wasn't a weekend course. I didn't sign up. It's not online. You know, the chiropractic training program is pretty intense. It's about 3.5 years by itself. It would be 5 years if you took any summers off. I went straight through for about 3.5 years, taking periodic a couple week breaks in order to get the education I have. So that's important to know. But a couple things. So we're talking about stress. Can anyone tell me some of the types of stress?
Work.
I was looking for more classifications, but that's one of them. Because that could fit into all of them. But like classifications of stress, maybe. This is good. We're going to learn a lot.
Emotional stress.
Emotional, yes, or like kind of emotional, mental. They both kind of pair into each other.
Physical stress.
Physical, because that's what I'm talking about. Cheating, but well played. How about the other one?
Financial.
Depression?
Financial falls underneath. I would say it's chemical. Right? Chemical stressors from either something that's in your environment or foods that we're putting in our body works on us biochemically, right? There's also two different kinds of stress in the sense that there's good stress and not so good stress. So I try to lead my life kind of this happy balance between enough stress to get better, but not so much that I can't get anything done. Does that make sense? Everyone's heard the term, if you don't use it, you lose it. Right? Well, if you use it too much, you lose it too. Okay? I'll let you know on that one. So we covered that eustress is good stress, distress, not so good as stress. All right? So I try to kind of, reading, exercising, things like that to stimulate yourself so that you're propelling yourself forward and getting better. How about some examples of physical stressors, since that's what I'm talking about specifically? We can go back to work. Someone say posture? I think I heard a posture in this region. Huge, big time. A lot of times I give talks and people sit up straight. Any other ones?
Accidents?
Accidents can very much be a physical stress, whether it's a slip and fall, car accident, snowboarding, I've seen it all. So whatever the case may be.
Family.
That one, yeah. Physical stress? We're not related, are we?
We might need to talk to Dr.
Those are some examples of, simple physical stressors. Maybe your workstation. Things that people forget is that gravity is a force that works on you all day long. Okay? It is a very, very powerful force. In fact, it's holding us to the earth right now. That's how powerful it is. So when I do an assessment on somebody and see if their spine is in alignment or their joints are moving correctly, I'm assessing to see, is this spine bearing weight properly in order to provide, the best healthy functioning spine they can have. Another thing that people don't know a lot is that the spine, which is more like your bone system, or system of the body, osseous system, is related to what other system very closely? Nervous. Who said that? A chiropractic patient, probably. Guaranteed. And why is that? Why is the spine so closely related to the nervous system? Protects it. Because it lives right inside there, right? So you have your central nervous system, which is your brain and spinal cord, which then turns your peripheral nervous system. And my little trusty spine over there, you can see, it's too far away. But we have all these individual vertebrae, right? 24 vertebrae in the spine. Each one of those has a nerve that basically correlates with it that exits out and goes to every muscle, cell, tissue, organ system in your body. So if you have pain in a certain area, you're like, people do this all the time, no doc, it hurts here. I say, well, it's actually coming from here because you have something impinged upon which is sending that pain. People heard of sciatica, right? That's a common problem. Something that I see a lot of where it's the pain is more peripheral. It's more away from where the actual lesion is, as we say. Is that too much technical speak for you? Is that okay?
Okay.
I don't want to go, catch myself.
So far.
Okay, good. So when it comes to these physical stressors, how does a chiropractor help? Cracks you. Relieves, that was good. That was excellent. I like that.
They help open up the pathways to your nerves.
Ah, looky there. Absolutely. We got some chiropractic patients in the house tonight. I'm kind of excited. Well, yeah, absolutely. So if we have something that's going on at the spinal level, where we have something that's out of alignment or a joint is not moving properly, because I look for two different things, alignment and motion. It can directly affect the nervous system. If you have a joint problem, it's hard to not have a nervous system problem, okay? Let's look at, for instance, anyone ever sprained an ankle? Okay, didn't feel real good, did it? No? What transmits that pain?
The brain.
Brain, yeah, but the nervous system, right? The brain is a part of the nervous system, but it's your peripheral nerve sending that signal up those nerves to the spinal cord, up to the brain, and to the thalamus to be interpreted as pain. Right.
Thank you for that.
Okay.
That's pretty good visual.
Okay, so if we're not able to interpret that pain, or if we're feeling that pain, right, how can we get rid of that? When we sprained the ankle, inflammation set in where blood was actually rushing to that area and created pressure, right? It's kind of like we have a balloon and we're just filling it up with more and more pressure. That pressure pushes up on the nerves and then that signal gets sent. So if we can affect that either at the local level or also at the spinal level, because it's going to provide a pain relieving effect when we do those adjustments. And someone said the term cracked, right? They cracked me, and some people are like, oh, I don't like the crack. Some people are like, I love the crack, It just depends on the person, But either way, I say it's kind of like going to the dentist. It may not feel like it's going to be that great, but you're going to benefit from it. There's tons of research out there that will show you there's been people who've lowered their blood pressure, people who have gotten over all kinds of pain systems, just because it is a very, very powerful tool that does affect the nervous system and can do a lot more than just pain. Don't get me wrong, chiropractors are great. When I say chiropractic, what do you think of?
Money.
Money? That's funny. I haven't heard that one yet. That's new. Anything else? What's that? Typically someone will say back pain or neck pain or pain, something related to pain, which that is great, but like Lena, pointed out, it's more towards wellness and prevention. And if you haven't had your spine assessed, how do you know if it's functioning properly? Do you maybe have some muscle imbalances that are contributing to some other factor? And oftentimes people have what I like to call the yet but syndrome, which means they don't have it yet, but
Soon.
you never really know, right? If you don't have things working properly, then it'd be good to get it checked out and make sure that you optimize it. I'd like to open it up for any questions people might have. Just brief. Wait, we can do questions after?
Questions after.
Questions after. Okay. Thank you guys. You've been great. I hope you had fun.